Joe.
Yes. What's up?
How was your Christmas, man?
Christmas was great. Really good. I don't know. When you ask somebody that, do you sometimes get, oh, it was terrible?
Yeah. I mean, there's the whole family. Like, it's usually not like, oh, it's terrible, I didn't get anything like that. That you don't do that past the age of like 11, but or 15 or whatever. But no, but sometimes like family stuff gets weird, and travel, or who knows, there was a little bumper cars in the mall parking lot, trying to get that spot. Who knows? You could have had
right.
Myriad of things to go wrong, really.
No, it worked. Actually, we did. Yeah, it was great. We had a great time. I mean, my Eagles played, and that was good, and they won. That was really great. The kids were happy, it seemed like. So the kids are older, and
Right.
they were like, well, it feels a little different this year. And this was the first year. This is what I think. It was a little different this year for them because they're both in a long-term, like they've not long-term, but like they both have significant others. So they both have a boyfriend or a girlfriend.
Yeah.
And I think when you have like that kind of relationship, it's just like that becomes like the most important thing. And the holidays don't seem as important as moments,
And just for reference, they're what, 16 and 19, 16 and 18?
16 and 18, yeah. 16 and 18. So,
yeah, those early relationships, they're the ones you look back and you're like, man, I threw way too much at that. But hey, good. I hope it goes well for them. And yeah, everything. Well, I hope it goes well. I don't want unhealthy relationships for anybody, but yeah, a little part of me is going, this person, you're never going to talk to them in a little while.
Right.
But I'm only one man with one experience, that's just me.
We had, it was actually, we got up later, which is nice. I mean, when you have young kids, it's like, they're ready to roll at 4 a.m,
Yeah. Right.
And you just went to bed a couple of hours.
Yeah, because you're screwing with the kickstand or whatever.
Right. Yes, right, exactly. And usually on Christmas, there's a lot of building of things. Like I'm building something, and that didn't happen this year either, because they both built, like Riley was really excited about getting a desk chair, like a really comfortable chair for her desk.
She does like some writing and stuff. Like audience, like this young lady, this woman is brilliant and creative beyond my like, I have some pretty creative aspirations. She is she puts a whole lot of work into her craft, is what I'll say.
Yes. Yeah. She's great. And so she likes to do that, but she was really excited about this chair that she got, and she was the one who put the chair together and everything. And then
cool. Okay.
Yeah. And then Aiden was building his own stuff. He wanted to build his own thing. So it was very relaxing, actually. I had a really very relaxing Christmas.
Congratulations. That's good. It was good. We had Kelly. So Kelly's parents, like a lot of ours, were divorced and remarried. So we had one set that was here Christmas Day, and they stayed overnight, and her brother as well. And then they headed out of here. And then today, her other folks from Arizona are coming in, and they're coming, and they're fantastic. They're wonderful. But her mom is one of 13. And Saturday, we have they do it twice a year, a summer and a winter gathering. And we have the gathering. Have you ever seen the show Veep on HBO?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
You
big
know how
fan.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus has the guy that whispers everything to her everywhere she goes?
Right. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I need at this family gathering. I'm gonna need like, that's a Jim. He's an uncle. That's a Jim. That's a Dale. He's an in-law. So Saturday we go get together for that. But I'm excited. They come in today, and so Christmas is really good that way. I, as an only child and the son of parents that divorced, my father never remarried, so often it was just dad and I at the that was Thanksgiving. That was they alternated Christmases, so every other Christmas I was with my dad, and then with my mother.
Yeah.
So I love having a full dinner table, Christmas feast, presents for everybody. And
Yeah.
it was good. And just a little bit selfishly, the old dude here in St. Nick brought me two tickets to go see Social Distortion and Bad Religion. Yeah, baby, in Iowa, of all places, in May. So I'll go get to
Nice.
see. Yeah, I'll go. I haven't missed a Social Distortion tour in some time, so I'm pretty excited to go see the boys and see how they're doing. And
That's great.
anyway,
That's
yeah,
great.
pretty
That's great.
pumped about it all. So it'll be
Yeah.
fun.
That's
And
awesome.
nothing really screams punk rock like Cornfields of Iowa, really.
That's right. That's right. And how about have you taken a little bit of time?
Yeah, I did actually. And then I've got, you know what, today, I'm as crazy as it is, I'm actually on a hard schedule today. I have a 9 a.m. video conference with a client this morning. So I got a boogie. I got to stay on time today. Yeah. I got a little time to myself. And then I've been, and this will lead into the whole resolutions thing, but I've been really, really working on time organization, and I found this new tool that I use, and it's really great. Keeps things organized. It automates decisions, all the things that I like, systems, processes implemented. And I'm actually living a little more stress-free as of late. Oh, the other thing I got
Because of that? Because of the thing? Because of the, yeah, nice.
Yeah, I don't spend time. I really enjoy the expression playing with my food these days. I don't like, just, let me putz around. Let me make some decisions because I feel like it's important. No, it's the same thing over and over. Just automate it. Just, here's what I do. Wake up, boom, here's your list. Go do it.
Yeah.
And it's not because I want to be a robot. It's because I want to get that stuff out of the way so that I could go do the fun stuff with my son, my wife, drink a beer, watch a football game, whatever. So have family time. Yeah. So I actually got ahead for my yesterday was going to be my rat cleaning day, my rodent business cleaning day. And I actually got it done on Tuesday because I had spare time, and that little piece, that task, I hadn't fully done before, beginning to end. And I said, you know what? Here's how long I think it's going to take me, but I don't know if that's true or not. So I went ahead and jumped on it, and A, I got ahead. B, I learned how long it's going to take, and I have a,
Was your estimate about right or no?
By total luck, yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah, it was spot on. Yeah, like I'm a genius. No, it was total luck. But yes, it was spot on, but it was lucky. Yeah, it was that was
And
one
so,
of the.
let's talk about this for a second. So what does that entail?
The rats?
Yes, like what was so the thing that you thought would take this amount of time?
Yeah.
What was it, and what did you do? And why did it take that long?
Okay. All right. So and there were things that I learned. It wasn't just like, hey, I'm a genius, I already know everything. So I've learned a few things. I learned a couple of things along the way.
Okay.
So I raise a kind of rodent called ASFs, African soft fur. So the ASFs, I'm starting, and I'm trying to do everything consistently because this drives people crazy when I say this, but I believe even if you do something consistently with poor results, you can identify what's causing the poor results. If you're inconsistent, you're just
right. Yeah.
Maybe it's good, maybe it's not. So I've started with cleaning every 2 weeks. Some people stick to a 10-day cleaning. Some people stick to a 7-day cleaning. I'm kind of a nut for being clean, but I also can't stand, like you said the other day, I'm so busy, I clean all the time. Well, if you don't need to clean all the time, you won't be so busy, and then you won't be tired and all of that. So I'm starting with a 2-week clean. Plus the heat seems to magnify when you need to clean. I could be wrong on that, so I'm still learning on that. But anyway, they all live in the little slide out tubs like you see behind me, but the thing is set up for rats. And what you do is basically you take them out of one tub, out of the tub they've been in for 2 weeks, and I put them in a new one. I love the idea of extra tubs. So I have 5 extra tubs right now. So I set up 5 clean tubs, 5 colonies out of one into the other. And then those dirty tubs, then you dump the bedding and you reset up the tubs. And the reset is just if we're going to get technical, there's a layer of, I use stall refresher. It's a horse stall, ammonia, basically cat litter, but for rodents.
Okay.
I put that in there. I put some absorbent pellets, pine pellets that really do a great job of absorbing moisture. And then pine shavings is what they live on. And then once a week, which overlaps on the same day, I add sunflowers and mealworms for protein for them. So when I set up the brand new tub, I go ahead and put the sunflowers and the protein.
And how many are in a tub?
I have colonies of so when we spew out these numbers, because I remember talking with Jeremy Bod one time, and he just started rambling off numbers, and I was like, all right, Jeremy, you're talking in a code I don't understand. But once you say it, it's really easy. So the first digit is the male, and then there's a point or a dot, and then the second number is the female. So 1.2 is one male, 2 females. So I have 1.2 colonies, 1.3 colonies, and 1.4 colonies. And I'm doing a little data collection on those setups. So the idea being you want to balance between productivity and then resources in the tub. You don't want them getting smothered. You don't want, if there's 30 colonies, you don't want to remember, hey, this one needs food every 2 days because there's a 1.4, and this one needs food every 3 days. There's a 1.2. You want the consistent results. So I have predominantly 1.3s, but I have a couple 1.2s and a couple 1.4s to check.
So hang on. So you have 1.2. So in a tub, there's 3 rats.
Yes, correct.
Okay. And then 1 point. Okay. Gotcha. Now, how often do they produce?
Don't know yet. We're hopefully now, and as I understand it, so I don't think everybody knows this. I will not get into the details publicly. I have split from my partner on the rodent program, so I am now the sole proprietor of Proper Rodents. So started fresh. I started fresh. It's all located here at the home office in Northfield, Minnesota. And so part of what I've in that process, part of what I lost was the time that we had put in. So I started from scratch. I started with all new colonies. I've started with I'm at the complete first setup stage of it. So I have the equipment, but I replaced the colonies. So in theory, they should produce. So you always sort of under budget things so that you can exceed expectations ideally. So the budgeting math is basically 1 colony of 10 hatchlings per female per month.
Okay.
So if I have 30 colonies with 3 females, that's 90 breeding females. And as they start getting fully producing, so that means my math is I'm banking on 900 babies per month.
Okay. And so everybody's in the house is okay with this.
So here's how, look, man, things have a way of working out. And when people say things have a way of working out, I feel like that means that they're good problem solvers. Because let's be honest, the universe doesn't care if I have rats or not. So things working out means we figured it out. I have, with this house, there was a literal woodshed that was full of wood when I got here. That's attached to the garage. And it has an outdoor door, and it's 8 feet by 10 feet. That's all it is. Very efficient space. So 80 square feet. And when it became clear that I was going to have to make some changes in that relationship, I started looking, and I said, "Hey, Kelly, they don't have to come in the house. They'll be out there." And she said, "Well, the smell's going to get in the garage, and then the garage smell's going to get in the house. I don't know about that." I said, "All right." I said, "If I need to, I got this far without it, I could do it without it if I need to crash it." And she goes, "Well, there's 2 doors on the shed. What if you just wall off the one door, take that door out, wall that wall off to the garage, and then you just have one outdoor door to the woodshed?" And I was like, "Is that our compromise? Is that a yes?" She goes, "Yeah, that's it." I said, "Okay, I'm in then." So the rodents don't get in the house. And the people in the audience, I think, will agree, maybe not agree, they'll vouch for me that at least in theory, as long as you keep them clean, ASFs actually have very mild or little odor compared to rats, and surely compared to mice. The mice they're the little devils. Especially when it comes to smell. So anyhow, yeah, we got it all approved by the the priestess, and so we're taking, again, speaking of sort of resolutions, the agreement was, look, because a lot of questions came in. "Hey, Adam, do you have time for this? You're already very busy. Now you're going to take this on." A little bit of, "Hey, where does it all stop?" And then a little bit of, "Hey, you got things going pretty well. Why do you continue to feel like you have to add something on top of it?" So there's a sort of a 90-day trial run. I don't expect to be flourishing production by 90 days just because that's how nature works. You're going to be, things take time. But as far as work, organization, cash flow, Adam's sanity, and mental health, give myself a 90 days. And if not, I sell the assets and take the money and figure out a different way on
Sure.
rodents.
Yeah. Well, cool. I mean, I didn't know about that you were going at it alone, and that's great. I mean, good for you for sticking with it. And so when you stick your hands in there and you get them, they get on your hand and stuff.
Yeah, here's the audience going to laugh.
Or is there another way to, I don't know, move them around?
This is where they're all gonna judge me.
Who's gonna judge you?
Oh, the audience, man. Nobody
the audience
does
is gonna.
Oh yeah, I have little rodent gloves. I don't trust the things. I don't want to get bit by one. So I have rubber gloves, and then I have they're like gardening gloves. So they have not. I'm not saying they can't, but they have not bit through. Yeah, she says they latch onto your hand. Yeah, no kidding, Sarah. I'm not sick. These are. You got to remember, these are highly trained instruments, man. I can't have I made it all these years through the kitchen with only one little scar from a knife going into my knuckle there, and that was it. I'm done with injuring my fingers. So yeah, I had one jump yesterday, had a little rodeo catching him in the room, but I was happy to see that. I think I've sealed the room off nicely. I did catch it, and I did put it back in its colony. But yeah, I have little rodent gloves because I don't want those things biting me.
I mean, okay, let me ask you this. Does anything, like, once you start to handle snakes regularly, reptiles regularly, rats regularly, does anything skeeve you out anymore? Does anything like you're like a spider? Whoa, I don't like that.
Plumbing. I hate plumbing. It's filthy. It is horrible. It is. Pay the plumbers, man. They they are doing God's work on this planet, man. That plumbing is, oh, it's gross, man. I'm pretty good at it, but I hate it, man. I hate it. Hey, we had a technical question. You got reptiles. What are you going to use to? Okay, so I said I learned a few, and because apparently we're getting high engagement on rodents, so let's talk about it. You can't talk about heat without some of the context of the facility. So it's an 8x10 shed, 3 outdoor walls, 1 attached to the garage. I don't have. I get some residual heat from the garage, but I'm not heating the garage to, livable temperatures kind of thing. So I insulated the roof with R30. I insulated the walls with R15, the outdoor walls, and then the one indoor wall is insulated with R7. The floor is uninsulated. I am not totally happy with that yet, but it's what I got. I had to get rolling. I had a little deadline. Then I use a oil and tank radiator space heater. And I tried to hook that up to some thermostats, and I cooked 3 thermostats because the wattage is it's a 15 amp, 2000 watt, 1500 watt, 20 amp, 1500 watt heater. And all the thermostats said they could handle that. But what happens is when it turns on, there's a spike that's spiking above 15 amps, and it's on a 20 amp circuit, but those thermostats are cooking. So I'm just using the adjustable knob right now, but for Christmas, I ordered the rats, business Christmas, of course, we're not gifting here. We're buying and writing the expenses off, not writing them off, putting them on the expense sheet. They make these new panel heaters that are rated high efficiency, and you can mount them on a wall like a TV, and they actually look nice and flat, and they have fans in them. And then I have the fans in the room, and I actually think I'm not going to run the fans because the rats create so much dust. I'll use the industrial fan in the room and just replace the little Honeywell Turbo Force blower. So that's what I'll be using the heat. That comes Friday, but right now I'm using the oil heater. It's pretty good, but it doesn't have the automatic thermostat on it. Really sucks. So every day I got to check the weather. It's going to get down in the 20s. All right, I got to set it here. It's going to get up in the 40s. Move it over here. But that's what I'm using right now, and I'm keeping it between 72 and 75 out there. It's always sunny in the rodent shed, man. Sunny and 73, man. That's where it's at.
I wouldn't say that. I definitely wouldn't say that. I wouldn't describe the rodent shed as sunny ever.
It's lovely in there. I'm really proud of the work I did in there, man. And again, you learn from either mistakes or experience along the way. But the experience of setting up the snake room, rebuilding this facility, I had a vision of what I needed to get done. I got to it, and it's cool. It's up and running, man.
And do you selectively breed for the friendly one? For the friendly ones? I mean, is that
people do actually. A lot of breeders with their ASF colonies don't use gloves. They do hold them. They're known as pretty, docile, tameable kinds of things. They're also known as pretty what's the word I'm looking for? Violent towards each other, though. So you have to, once your colonies are set, you can't. Say, for example, I have a 1.3 and the male jumps out and makes a great getaway and he's gone. You put another male in there, that they will massacre that male. He's done.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So at that point, you crash the colony and you're down to 29 colonies, and you go to your holdbacks and you set up another 1.3. You're done on that.
Okay, I see. Okay. Well, this is all very interesting.
Yeah. Welcome. So do you, first up, by the way, let's rewind for just a second. Last week's show, did you ever rewatch the shows, Joe?
I wouldn't be able to. No, I hate myself too much to do that.
Wow. Jumping right into some self-loathing. All right. Gonna add that to the resolutions list. We got things to work on here, Joe. Okay. I'll save you the trouble.
Okay.
I personally, as one viewer, I loved last week's show.
Oh,
we had a great time on the airing of grievances. which was fun and it was enjoyable. It gave a little insight to, you know, our
I had a lot of
personalities.
fun. Yeah, it was great. It was really
It was
fun.
cool. And then the topic of what topic was it? You know, success being pain,
Pain plus
pain
time. Yeah.
tolerance and time and implementing feedback. It was really cool because I could really feel that we weren't quite sold on what the other person was saying. And then we both had these aha moments because we stepped back and said, wait, hang on, I don't know about that. And like, it wasn't just like
Yeah.
banter to eat time. It was really seeking to understand. And that's where I was like, man, that is cool. So anyway, I really enjoyed it. It wasn't the highest metrics ever and that sort of thing, but it was a type of show that I envisioned doing with you, and it came to this fruition, and it was cool.
I don't know if you noticed this, but you just a couple of minutes ago you used the word gifting. I'm not gifting.
I know I did that, and I did that.
You
as
did
like
that on purpose.
Snide remark. Yeah. Did you notice I used it in a negative term? I was like, no, we're not gifting here. That was the inflection.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So it was
That
purposeful. Okay.
That was turning the screw, right?
Gotcha. But you did send me something that the word gifting has been around for the use of the word gifting as a verb has been around for 400 years.
Yeah, I'm looking up the picture. If you ever wonder, not that any of us should ever wonder this anymore if your phones are listening to you, but this was in my Google feed this week from Merriam-Webster. I didn't know you were going to spring this on me, Joe. Here we go. Now I'm ready. It says, is gift really a verb? And then it says under it, like it knows it's speaking to me, don't let gift as a verb ruin your holiday spirit. It was like, hey, this will piss Adam off. Let's throw this out into the ether for him to stumble into. All right. According to Merriam-Webster, it says gift as a verb has a 400-year history of use and means to present a gift. And then again, talking to me, some feel strongly that give is the correct word, but gift is acceptable and efficient alternative. I would argue it's not efficient. The word already exists. Then, as if just to stick a knife in my, in my belly and gut me, since the 1990s, the word has gained popularity, perhaps in part because of a well-known Seinfeld episode regarding regifting and degifting. Life always comes back to Seinfeld and pro wrestling, but definitely Seinfeld.
I had forgotten about that. Yeah, But yeah, regifting, degifting.
Yeah, but that was obviously not. That was total BS. That was a full satire show. That wasn't to be taken seriously.
I take that stuff very seriously.
I
think that's why people like it. That's why it's a classic, is that people know exactly how these people, everybody talks about that show as like, oh, those are terrible people. Everybody likes that show because they all have those thoughts. They all think everybody thinks that way in one form or another. Is that right or is that wrong?
No, it is. And as I get older, I find I have progressed from Seinfeld into Curb Your Enthusiasm, like as a person. Like I went from Seinfeld and now I'm even grumpier and fidgetier and anxious about my ways. So what are you tipping? Do I have to tip? Hang on, I want to know what you're writing before I write it. Yeah, like all these things that they're exactly right about,
Okay, so last week was really fun. That was great. And I think I kind of misunderstood the assignment. I think I went real deep with stuff.
You didn't misunderstand it. You did honest, hard work, and I didn't. I went.
You kept it kind of. I don't want to say shallow, but shallow.
Right. I went. I went shallow and wide, not deep. like a
Right.
tide pool of mediocrity. It's frozen. I just skated right across the top of it there.
I had one more, and I don't know if I got to it, but it was like, I don't, my grievances, parents who don't respect their children, and that's like
Oh,
way too deep. That's way too. That's not what a grievance should be.
yeah, not on a morning coffee python
Right.
show. Yeah, it's well, and in all seriousness, some of those can get like sometimes our biggest, I'm not saying this is the case. Sometimes our biggest grievances are our strongest life experiences, whether it be our very own or somebody close to us or whatever it might be. So I would much rather talk about barn doors than
Right.
multi-generational parental
Right.
breakdowns.
Right. Let's keep it light. Let's keep it light. Maybe, yeah, that's the better word. You picked light stuff, and I picked heavier stuff.
I
It was
appreciate
worked out.
I appreciate shallow. That was good. I'm not often enough criticized for my shallowness. It's a new leaf I'm turning over. I quit with the deep dives. We're going shallow and
So, how about on to this topic this
yeah.
week? So, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, New Year resolutions. What did you have in mind for our conversation this morning?
Well, I really was gonna. I have no spoiler. I have no exact resolutions to give. I'm still working them out. But philosophically, is this something you engage in? Is this do you like them? Do you dislike them? What's the feels it gives you when okay, so it's December 28th. Is this arbitrary trip around the sun? Does it mean anything to you, or is this a whole new, an opportunity for a mental philosophical clean slate? Where are you in all of this?
No, I do take it well. I do take it seriously. Yes, I do. Even though I do think it's arbitrary. I mean, we've cordoned off this thing that we call time into certain days and weeks and years. That, I mean, we put that on the the twirling of this world,
Right.
and so,
As
but
as a side note, really quick, isn't it amazing that somebody somewhere figured out that ballpark, we're about a quarter of a day off each year. So just could throw an extra one on there. They figured that out a long time ago. And like it's imperfect, but they were doing this with shadows and sticks and little trinkets on their desk, things we use as paperweights. So like, no, we have this wrong. I'm blown away, man. So all right, keep going. I'm sorry. It just came
no,
to mind.
no. I keep seeing that thing too. Like if we just made every month 28 days, then that would make more sense or something. I don't know. I can't. I keep seeing this thing where it's like if we made every month 28 days and we had an extra month, then all the weeks and the days would line
Oh,
up and be normal.
with an extra month.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
But
that probably.
anyway,
Yeah,
so
we
so
digress. Yeah.
yeah, but I do take the opportunity to look back over the year, and then I think about what I want for this next year, uh, and then I go. I try and do that. I try and do what I want to do for this next year, and oftentimes I fall short of that. But yeah, I do take it. I don't know if taking it seriously is the right term, but I do reflect. It gives me this time, this changing of the
Right.
year, prompts me to reflect for sure. How about you?
I
No.
like. Yeah, I like that. I think. I think reflect, and I think a lot about this. I think reflection is important. There's appreciation and gratitude in reflection, and there's future goals in reflection. So I really like reflection, and keep it in the world of resolutions. So what I usually hear, and I hear some in the audience, is, we do this, we torture ourselves, and we're destined to fail, and it's just another day. And that's all completely true. So on one hand, I don't think we should wait until some arbitrary 1/1 moment to reconvene things. On the other hand, it's as good as any other marker that we could possibly pick. So I don't limit resolutions to the first of the year, or new goals to the first of the year. So I don't feel bound by the January 1st kind of thing. But one thing I really enjoy in life, and one thing I actually really like about Minnesota, and that I loved about North Carolina, and then when I lived in Maine, that I missed out on Florida, is I like the idea of seasons in life. And seasons, in the literal seasons, give us benchmarks to remember things by. Florida, to me, is a blur because it's basically one season. Whereas we remember harsh winters, or early springs, or late falls, or the colors that one year. I like those benchmarks because it reminds me of particular points in time versus sort of a blur of time. And what I'm saying with all of that is there are different seasons in life, and I like the idea of different seasons. And a different season should also include, hopefully, improvement, but new goals, new dreams. I love dreaming. I love looking forward to new things. I love looking forward to anticipating. And I don't mean it as in like a thing, not like the guitar. Sometimes it's a guitar, but my resolution is not go buy a guitar this year. But I like looking forward to, okay, this season I've moved here, I've reestablished. Now I need to reestablish myself on the music scene. I want gigs this year. I want this level of production with the Snakes and this goal. I want business to be. I spent a lot of time writing a budget. A budget's nothing more than a set of goals and resolutions that we want to hold ourselves to. So I'm rambling on, but yes, I do like it. I do think that it's okay to make them, participate in them, go after them, and it's okay to fail. There's a reason we re-up our resolutions regularly too.
Yeah. So do you have for the beginning of the year, do you make a list of resolutions?
Yeah. So I try and keep business and personal, or business and hobbies, totally separate. I'm kind of a nut job for that. So business resolutions are already kind of made in the form of a budget and that stuff. So I think of New Year's resolutions as like atom things. Business resolutions have to happen. You do those all the time.
Right, yeah,
Otherwise, you're just flying blind, and generally people go broke when there's no business resolutions. Again, we call them budgets, we call them spending goals, cash flow, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Personal, yeah. I read something this week that said, I'm going to paraphrase it here. Basically, it says, if you can earn a good living and maximize what you have, why worry about expanding? Why worry about this ever evolving feeling to get bigger and need more? Why don't you live well, optimize what you have, and get really good at it, thus lowering stress and leading to a more fulfilling life? And that's balance. I think that's something we all strive for. So it's not a very definable goal, but I would have to figure out the parameters I want to put on it and all of that. But that's a goal. That mindset is a goal. Organize myself, not feel like I'm in a constant scramble, not feel like I'm in a constant expansion.
So there's some chat in the chat about goals. I mean, and you've mentioned goals a few times, objectives.
I love goals, yeah.
SMART goals, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-based, which we've talked about. I think we've talked about on this show. Is there a difference? Do you see a difference between resolutions, like New Year's resolutions, and goals?
Yeah. Goals are like, to me, like goals are like one-off individual things, and resolutions are more like,
yeah,
holistic, maybe is the right way, but I don't know, maybe not. So like So let me get real specific. So a couple of the things that I really want to resolve to do, again, is in a holistic way, work on balancing some things out. I've got this wonderful family. I've got this wonderful home. The business is working. I want to take advantage of it. I want to go on hikes. I want to go see live music at the pub. I want to eat dinner out. I want to be that husband, dad, white picket fence, blah, blah, blah. I want all that stuff. So I'm going to work on that. One specific goal that maybe isn't even a resolution. It's just something that's going to happen. I'm going to do dry January, the holidays, the downtime, the vacation, the consumption. It's out of whack, man. Oh, big surprise. That's out of whack. The other stuff is out of whack. Yeah. Let's have a little reset. Let's have a little time for reflection. Let's get back to a little order and sleep and health and family and that stuff. So I'm going to chill out a little bit on the consumption in January. That I put more as a goal than a resolution, but it is a resolution. Yeah. And then it sounds funny, but going back to my first thing, I want to plan on what I'm going to do with some time off. I want to plan on some fun things for the family. How are we going to figure out how to, I don't know these answers yet. How am I going to go away for 5 days and have all these animals fine? Yeah. Yeah. I want to be able to relax. I want to go to the big thing in Minnesota is you go to the lake in the summer. Everybody has the lake. You going to the lake? Yeah, going to the lake. Yeah, we're out of here. There are literal traffic jams coming into these little lake towns on Friday afternoons in the summer in Minnesota. So I want to do that, and I got to be able to plan accordingly. So I'm going to figure those things out.
It's funny. I have a similar. I want to do a white picket fence with a basement full of snakes.
That's right. That's all I want. I'm a simple man. That's it. Throwing a few guitars and a kid. Oof, heck yeah, man.
What is KISS? KISS. I gotta ask that of.
Keep it stupid simple, or if you want to offend the person,
simple, stupid. Yeah.
Keep it simple, stupid. I think keep it stupid, simple. But again, if you want to offend somebody, you can call them stupid at the end of it.
Okay.
Keep it simple, stupid, or keep it stupid, simple.
I usually have the same resolution each year, though, and that's problematic. Well, I mean, I'm getting quite puffy towards the end of the year, especially with all those holidays.
A couple times, yeah.
I'm looking at my face and I'm going, what are these? This is getting expansive here. We gotta tone it down a little bit.
Jamie says in the military, stupid's at the end. I got that's good context. All due respect there, which is irony when we're talking about calling somebody stupid at the end. But okay, got it. There we go.
So I want to be healthier. I want to get healthy. And usually it lasts for a good 4 months, and then I'm not healthy. Then when it gets to be April, May, summertime, and then I usually have a good little bit at the summer because I'm just tired of being unhealthy, and then towards the end of the year I just kind of go a little nuts. But see, right. That's the problem. That's the thing with resolutions, though, is if you have the same ones, if you have the same resolutions year after year, are they really resolutions? Are you really resolving to do something?
Yeah. Well, first, I'm not in a position to judge. I don't think I'm the one that needs to answer that for you. But it sounds. What was the character in mythology? The Sisyphus that rolls the rock up and it rolls down. And is it the same guy? The ravens eat his liver or whatever, or something.
I don't know. I don't
know. The harpies or whatever the birds are. Anyway, so he's rolling the rock up, works all year rolling the rock up. Midway through, rock rolls down. He's destined to just repeat this over cycle. I don't know. It's good, bad. There's a reason that stories existed for, millennia. It's relatable is what I'm saying. I think, I don't know. What's the alternative? Feel like, hey, I
Not
hate
doing
these
anything. Yeah.
Yeah, I hate these resolutions, so I'm just gonna hang it up and let myself go. Like,
Right.
yeah. So
I
no,
mean, I've had those thoughts. I sometimes even wish I could be that way too. I sometimes wish I could go, I don't really care anymore.
yeah. Look, man, draw the card. You just take the cards the way they're dealt. Eat the chicken wing. Have the beer.
I
Go to
went,
bed.
I, went, I took Aiden and a few of his buddies fishing yesterday. So we went
Oh,
out
how'd you guys
fishing.
do?
Oh, we did all right. We caught a few. I didn't catch any because I was just really focused on them catching. That's the
Yeah.
reason why I didn't catch any.
Okay.
uh,
Right.
but
Right. Right.
but but
The
there's
benevolent. Yeah.
but
Benevolent Joe.
there's a small hill that we had to climb to get back to the car, and at the top of the hill, I guess I was breathing a little heavy. And one of Aiden's friends turned around and said, "Oh, this is a little this is a tough trek for you, huh?" Like he turned around and he said that to me,
You're like,
and
hey
I
kid,
was
you
like,
want to feel it?
"Okay,
You're like, you want to feel a tough trek? Figure out how to get home. There you go.
right."
There's a little trek for you. No, I know what you mean. I was wrestling with the dog and the kid actually last night, and after a good bout, a couple good rounds, I was like, I need to find a. Is this a midlife crisis kind of thing? Why do I feel attracted to a boxing gym? Like I feel like I want to go box a little bit, and I am not built for getting punched in the face, man. That is not. It's not what I was put on this planet to do, but I feel like a little cardio is what I need in my life for this year.
uh, yeah. Actually, Aiden wants to do that, and
Yeah.
I don't find it appealing. It could be a midlife thing, but I don't find it appealing though. No.
Yeah. I don't
Um,
actually want to box. I just want to do like the workouts and like
yeah.
I think it would be because I this goes with everything. I have done the row machines, the cycling bikes. What do you do with your head in that? Do you got to sit there for an hour and just Pete's sake, man? Like, and I try listening to audiobooks. I get so bored and fidgety sitting there, and it doesn't. I very rarely have ever. Now I used to cycle a lot, and I did used to feel like the runner's high or whatever. And when I
Yeah.
say cycle, I mean I would do the Jacksonville to Daytona and back on a bike, you know, the MS 150 rides and that sort of thing. So I do miss that. Maybe I need, but I quit cycling because in North Carolina, the hills, the curves, and then the little gravel and the sand they put on the roads for the wintertime, that's death on a bike come
Yeah.
springtime. And I was like, I got to get home alive. I can't be dead as a father and a husband. So I quit cycling, but maybe, I don't know. I need to figure something out. I
Well,
got to
are
get
we both
my,
saying we're both saying that that our main resolution for this next year is to be healthier? Is that what we're both saying?
no, but I think we are both saying that was a little bit of a long trek yesterday. Yeah. So maybe it needs to be. All right. How about this,
Well,
Joe?
here's the thing, but I do want to point out one thing though, because I think resolutions are these ideas about how we want to change, but they have to be accompanied by strategies.
Yeah.
Uh, they've got to be, and so your dry January, I think that's a strategy for the overall resolution of healthy living. That's and I think, and I'm resolved to do a dry January as well. So we're putting it out here right now. Dry January, we're going to do it.
Yeah, I am down with that. And I'll give some context. It's not that I think I'm a raging alcoholic, because if I did, 30 days wouldn't be enough. It's
Mhm.
everything that goes with it. It's
Yeah.
the less sleep. If I'm drinking a big Cabernet, well, then I need a big fat ribeye. If I'm going to have a fat ribeye with a Cabernet, I need a good, peppercorn cream sauce on the top of it.
Right.
If I'm going to have a ribeye with a peppercorn cream sauce and a big Cabernet, well, I better have some garlic mashed potatoes. What does that need? You can only make that with heavy whipping cream. And so it's this perpetuating snowball of a lifestyle. and then for dessert, you have a side of gout, and that's what happens. So I want to like cut that stuff off a little bit. So,
Yeah.
Okay, here's my pitch. Let's pay some bills really quickly, and then let's wrap up the show with 3 resolutions each, Joe, that we're going to put out there, and this will become the circle of accountability. We'll hold each other to it. What do you think?
Okay. Yeah. Let me.
You have approximately 30 seconds to commit to this. There
Okay.
you go. Get your pen ready. I want to say thank you very much to Keith at Creative Genetics. Go check him out, guys. Keith is working with stranger combo projects in a variety of recessives. Right here, right now, I am working with a VPI clown axanthic stud that Keith and I are working together. He'll go to a variety of projects. We will have clown axanthic combos to offer this year, hets, visuals, all that good stuff. And we'll have some triple hets going to hypo as well in that. But right here, right now, Keith has some stranger combos available, and go check him out at Creative Genetics. He's on Morph Market and Instagram, and a great supporter of the show and a good business partner. Thank you so much, Keith. Also, I feed frozen thawed rodents. I feed rodents from Cold Blooded Cafe. You might say, hey, Adam, I thought I just heard you said you were raising your own ASFs. I use the ASFs for hatchlings, plan to sell the rest. And then I want my subadults, adults on frozen thawed rats. That's just my preference of how I do things. So if you're interested, use the promo code proper11 for 11% off of your next order at Cold Blooded Cafe. I think the end of the year is a good time for thank yous as well. Hugely, hugely thankful to those 2 sponsors for this show. And to you, the audience, there's like 30. There is 30 of us. 30 of us hanging out. 30 talking coffee, resolutions, snake adjacent, rodents. It's a weird concept, and it's working, and I love it. Thank you, guys. And Joe, thank you for, I don't know that we could have defined what this was going to be when we started, other than kind of a fun thing to try, and it's definitely turned into its own sustainable thing. So I love it, man.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, so New Year's Eve was always one of my favorite holidays. I know that's kind of a strange thing, but my grandmother would have this huge party. She'd throw this huge party for New Year's Eve. And it was in Long Island, and we'd go there and bang pots and pans, and we'd yell and go crazy, and then we'd dance for an hour. It was just so much fun as a kid. But we started that party every year. My uncle is a priest, and so we started with mass in the living room. So so he would say mass, and it was the same reading every year, which is basically the nativity story, but there's a point that in the story, and it says Mary held all these things in her heart, and I always loved that line, and I always thought it was the right reading for that night, because that's what I feel about looking back and reflecting and holding these things in my heart, not only remembering them, but anticipating them. I mean, there's this new baby in the world in that story, and that baby reflects all of the things that happened that year for her, but also the hope of this new year. And that's what I love about that line, is she held these things in her heart. So that's what I try to do. That's what I try to do during this time, is hold these things in my heart. And I am so grateful and happy to have met so many really wonderful people through this experience with you and your invitation to be a part of this. I hold that in my heart, and I really, really appreciate that. Thanks so much.
You just crushed the whole show. That was it. That's boom. That's the whole 30 seconds right there. It took us an hour to figure it out, but that was the one right there, man. Man, you never know what people are going through. Begal Reptiles, man, I hope the best for you for this year. And I can tell you from not my own personal experience, but life experience, enjoy the moments, take the moments, and I hope there's many, many more moments in the future. And if I think about it in the context of you're taking your time to spend with us is even more amazing. So
Yeah.
my very, very best to you out there. So Joe, the resolutions, that was a really touching thought there, man. I really appreciate that. And you kind of wrapped up in a good bundle what I was saying and just my feelings about reflection. I spend a lot of time reflecting. I really do. I incorporate it into kind of my daily routine, and it's something that's valuable to me. It allows me to look at myself, and it gives me peace to relax at night. People ask, how do you slow down? Or not me personally, but in general, we always say the wheels are going in our heads. We have trouble sleeping. I reflect. I give a little bit of thanks in my own way and in my own beliefs, and that brings me peace. So, anyhow, if you have resolutions you want to share, cool. We could go deep here instead of shallow. But I am up against that hard deadline. I got a boogie. I still have to. I got to get onto a true business. This is good business, but another business meeting here in 33 minutes. So I'm going to wrap up fairly quick. But so what would you want to kick off your number 3?
So I am currently 265 pounds.
Wow. Talk about the circle of trust
dude.
and accountability. Okay.
I'm a big dude. So I want to be 225 at some point this year.
Wow. Okay. 225. I wish you the best, Joe. I am not 260 pounds. However, I have a friend, very good friend. She was going to med school when we, the first year after college, I finished undergrad, went into my restaurant career. I had 2 roommates, a guy and a girl, and all 3 of us were dear friends. And she said to me one day, she said, Adam, you're going to be one of these skinny guys that never gains a pound and dies of a heart attack out of the blue because of the way you live your life. And there's no accountability because most people gain weight and they realize they have to change what they're doing. And you're never going to have to do that. Here I am literally 20 plus years later. And that rings in my ear that she's probably, I hope to God she's not right. But the spirit of what she was telling me is something I should probably pay attention to. So I'm going to say improve my cardio and work at improving my cardio, strengthen my heart and my physical heart and my oxygen systems in my body is what I want to get better at.
That's nice. Yes, that's good. That's good.
Boxing. I'm glad Josh said this because that's exactly what I was feeling. A lot of math, about economics math. I count things in Gibsons as in the number of guitars. So like Toyota Tacoma is probably about 15 to 20 Gibsons. I have to really like something to pay 20 Gibsons for it. Joe is 2 Adams. That's correct. That is correct.
I don't want to be 1 Adam. There's no offense, Adam, but I just don't think it would look good on my frame. But
your frame is 1 Adam.
Right. Okay. Second one. I didn't do it this year, and I do it every year, and I want to get back to doing it. And that's just travel to a new city and explore it. Travel and explore a new city. Yeah.
Have you been to Minneapolis ever?
I've never been to Minneapolis.
Yes, I see it happening. There it is. All right, cool. I like that. That's a nice bridge between like a little isolated goal and this whole like holistic personal growth. That kind of checks both boxes, right? Like it's attainable as a little goal, but then like you're going to go experience the culture. You're going to have a sandwich in Minneapolis. You're going to Google what sandwiches. Are you familiar with the Juicy Lucy burger?
No, I don't know what a Juicy Lucy burger is.
That is the sandwich that Minneapolis is known for. There are 2 competing diners that have been there for 100 years. Gangsters came to these diners when they were trying to take over the Midwest, expanding out of New York to Chicago, then Chicago to St. Paul, Minneapolis. And they compete for what is the truest, most genuine Juicy Lucy burger, my friend. You got to come check it out. You got to Google it. That's what it is. Juicy Lucy burger.
How quickly I forget about my first resolution talking about the Juicy Lucy.
You have to wait till August when the rock is rolled down the hill, then you don't care anymore. That's right. All right. So for myself, I don't know how to. It's a little bit bigger goal, but January 1st will be 365 days of being fully, wholly self-employed, and I resolve to make it another 365 days of being wholly and healthily, like not going down with the ship, not going, I got this as the whole world is crumbling around me. No, as part of a healthy Adam, I resolved to stay self-employed.
That's fantastic. That's the way to go. That's the number one. That to me is number one.
It's not the number one. It's the number two, because as important as that is, I would throw that away. I would go get a job as a food and beverage director, and I would take care of my family if and when that day ever came. And I wouldn't think twice about it, because I would have gone after it. I would have experienced it. I would know in my heart that I did it and I gave everything I had to it. But if it was a bad decision, I'd walk away in a second.
I completely agree. Now, but you'll always do that. That's not something that you have to resolve to do, though.
No, because
I'm being a stickler.
I've never been fully self-employed. Yeah. That's different than Adam's endless side hustles and entrepreneurial dreams. This was the year I said, dreams got to become a reality. It's so easy to dream. It's really hard to go, all right, I'm jumping in. That was scary. Oh, it was scary, man. It wasn't the scariest thing I've ever done. I've faced some scary stuff in my life, but that was scary.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here I am.
Congratulations. Now. That's awesome. It's great. It's great.
Thank you, man.
Third one is I'm going to get to
number one.
Number one. I'm going to get to at least 2 reptile shows this year.
Nice. I love it. All right. That would be enticing enough for me to travel. We got to do a show together, man. 2 shows, huh?
So 2. Yeah. And I know that's modest. 2, but I'm going to start with 2 and then maybe I'll pick it up the next year a little bit.
Well, for a guy that has 0 reptiles, if you take if everybody were held to that rubric of take the number of reptiles you have, add 2 to it, and that's the number of shows you have to go to, none of us would live up to that expectation except for you, Joe. You're the one.
All right. I'm going to do it.
Yeah. I do second Sarah's comment. You should go to the Tampa Repticon in February. It's a great show, and Sundog Serpents will certainly be vending there. I think Shannon will be there. A few other people from the audience will be there. It's a really, really good show.
Okay.
All right. My number one, I'm giving myself permission to relax and be happy. Embrace what I like. The full drive of like what seems to drive me is that I have this like badge of honor that I don't relax. I'm never content, blah, blah, blah. And maybe that got me where I'm at, but a healthy balance in there would be okay too. My son will turn 12 this year. We're living, we chase this dream of being in this like town where we want to be. My family's in here with me in Minnesota. Kelly's family is here. It's a beautiful city in Minneapolis, St. Paul too. The lakes in the summer. I want to ice fish in January. I want it all, man. I want it all. I want the Juicy Lucy's with Joe. I want every bit of it. So that's the number one this year. Get it in balance and enjoy the moment. Give myself permission to relax. Maybe I'll sit down and watch a movie, Joe. Could you imagine?
Which one?
It's a big weight, right? I don't know. I think it would be. When I do watch them, I really enjoy Scorsese films. So, for something a little heavy, maybe that new Scorsese film that came out was a Killers of the Blood Moon or something like that.
Flower Moon. But
Flower Moon. I like history and Scorsese. Why not?
I mean, yes, Scorsese is a good choice. You just got to set aside 3 hours or 3.5 hours for it.
Right. And
which is a big ask. I say start small, go for an 1.5 hour movie or something.
So on the flip side, my thought is if I'm going to watch a movie, because I might not watch another one for, 3-4 years, let's not go shallow. I need to go deep here. Is an 1.5 hour movie going to be deep enough is the question. Or do I just break out the timeless classics? I just go through the necessities. Big Lebowski, Shawshank Redemption, and finish off the marathon with Gangs of New York. Those are the three. I mean, really, those are the three I need. You got Daniel Day-Lewis, you got Morgan Freeman, you got the whole cast of the Lebowski. I mean, that's good enough. Anyway,
so you go Gangs of New York, huh? Gangs of New York.
I love it. It's fantastic. Yeah, it's a really good one.
Yeah.
There's slow points, but the action is really great when it's good, and the history of it's pretty cool. Plus, Daniel Day-Lewis is Bill the Butcher. He's really good, man. He's incredible.
Buried him in my own blood, in his own blood or whatever. Oh my gosh, it's great. He did this.
Love it when he makes the mistake.
Oh man, he's great.
He throws a knife and he misses, and he's like, "Whoopsie daisy." Yeah.
I used to bartend. And we would have trivia nights. And so the last round of trivia was I would do monologues from movies and impersonate the actor and everything. And I had one, that was the last question of each round. So I do like a monologue. And one night I just did all Daniel Day-Lewis movies.
Oh, cool. Joe, I hate to say it because this would be the week to run long if we were ever going to. I got 22 minutes. I got to go shave. I got to go look like I'm a professional consultant. And and that's what I have
Good luck with that.
I know, right? Like, let me go do the Superman change. This is not really fitting with my resolutions of enjoying the moments because this is a good moment here. We'll pick it up. If you get really bored, in St. Paul, I'm not going to do it because I got family in town, but I know I'm going to really regret missing this. There is an event on New Year's Eve called Dude Year's Eve. It's a whole Big Lebowski theme. They do the band plays the soundtrack of the Big Lebowski. It's an all-star band getting together to just do the soundtrack for one Dude Year's Eve, man. Happy New Year's to everybody. Go make your resolutions. Don't beat yourself up if you don't gain them. Learn from them if you miss. I wish you the best. Joe, take us home, man.
All right. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Well, that was a very quick. Okay, goodbye.